Honest J. Nowak. Coming at you live. Alright. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN Graphix. And so, well, pretty much just bear with me here because we do have a few more to talk about for today's marathon session. And I will probably have another marathon session take place first thing tomorrow, but let's go ahead and talk about Steep as a way to help finish this one off right now. So, Steep, of course, might just be considered one of the best sports games I might have had to play, or winter sports games to be exact. But unfortunately, I mean, that would have meant that I would have had to make my top 20 best PS4 games countdown way bigger. If I had perhaps the time to create a top 30 best PS4 games countdown, then maybe I probably would have had to have even longer amount of time to basically do just that. So that's unfortunately an out of the question sort of scenario. A pitch shift that I cannot necessarily agree with on myself. And I don't necessarily have the time in the world for all of that even. So the way I see it, I will still go as far to say that Steep 2016 still is an amazing game. The fact I was able to get it at a pretty good bargain at a GameStop about 3 years ago, not long before I went to Target and bought that trio of games that pretty much included Doom 2016, Need for Speed 2015, and Ark Survival Evolved. So, I mean, I was buying actual hard copies of certain games left and right throughout most of 2018 as a way to continue on with a lot of my work revolving around GWK content throughout the rest of the year. Especially with Seasons 1, 2, and 3 that I pretty much had already started. And, of course, we also can't forget what I've done for the actual Season 1 and 2, which were both pretty much canceled. Yeah. So, realistically speaking, this would be mainline Season 8, but instead it's 6, because those actual first two seasons from 2017 were pretty much canceled. So, but I will still say that Steep, a 2016 game of all sorts of things out there relating to winter sports, is just pure amazing by all means. It is in fact the culmination of the many things relating to snowboarding, skiing, sledding, paragliding, base jumping, and so much more. It's a lot like with a lot of the more modernized variants of other types of sports games, like with THQ Nordic and Rainbow coming together to pretty much give us some nice, amazing, full-fledged examples of modern MX and ATV games, as well as Monster Jam games. So, I mean, when you really think about it, the PlayStation 4 has really allowed for full-on optimization and full-on impressive feats of every kind that you could potentially find in a video game nowadays. And Steep is one of those pure, full-on examples of this exact phenomenon taking its full course. So at this point in time, I will just go ahead and say that it's just amazing. Hands down, amazing. I don't really know if I'd actually have to go ahead and create another countdown video based on another several picks of the best PS4 games I've ever played, but maybe that might have to be done. I'm still going to consider Ark Survival Evolved to be number one, the absolute greatest game in the history of the world. That's just from my point of view. Maybe a lot of other people will agree with me on that, but by all serious means, Steep is sure to be a pretty impressive game, not only for its utilization in snow sports, but also for some rather amazing stuff in there. You basically have a large 3D map of several different locations, including the Swiss Alps, the mountainous terrains of Alaska, and even Korea. Yeah. Who would have thought that the 2018 Korean Olympics would in fact be a part of this game? Well, I mean, and that was a pretty popular trend, of course, but the 2018 Korean Olympics, there's a reason why they did not feature it in Super Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. They went in 2008, then in 2010, and in 2012 in London, 2014 in Sochi, 2016 in Brazil, but not in 2018 for Korea. But yet they did go for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, so I don't really know what else to say about that. But the thing is, why include the Korean Olympics in a video game like that? That whole entire thing was basically backed up by politics. And that's just the fact. It's politics that have been the huge source of a lot of drama lately. And you know what? I don't even know what else to say about it. So I guess we'll just leave it at the fact that Steep, a game from 2016, has a lot of great intentions, has a lot of impressive feats, and most importantly, has probably the best possible modern example of an experience where you can play a certain winter sports competitions, snowboarding, skiing, sledding, whatever the case. So at this point, I'll probably just let it be known, I consider it to be a great title for sports, for snow sports, for adventure, for trekking through certain terrains, and all that good stuff. So that's probably just the end of all that. But you know what? If you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.